Hey everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, we're diving into a heartwarming story that will touch your soul. A long-awaited reunion after months apart. Tears, surprises, a brand new motorcycle, and the sweetest family moment you won't want to miss. If you enjoy emotional real-life stories like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss the next one. Imagine this. The soft golden light of a late afternoon sun is gently filtering through the leaves, casting warm shadows across a peaceful rural home where Diep and her little daughter Nee are sharing one of those quiet, beautiful moments that make your heart feel full. Those days apart always feel longer than anyone expects, don't they? The empty chair at the dinner table, the extra silence in the evenings, the way every small task reminds you someone is missing. But right now, in this very moment, a small spark of hope is just beginning to flicker to life, growing brighter with every breath. Diep had been casually chatting with Nee about how her day went at Grandma's house, listening to her daughter's excited stories with that gentle, motherly smile. Then, leaning in close, Diep whispered the words they had both been waiting so long to hear, her voice soft, yet filled with warmth. "Dad James will be back tomorrow." Nee's eyes widened in pure surprise and joy. She let out the happiest little squeal, the kind that fills the entire house with laughter, and the two of them pulled each other into a tight, loving embrace, smiling so brightly it felt like the whole world suddenly became lighter. You could feel the excitement bubbling between them, that sweet, pure anticipation of a family finally coming back together after being apart for what seemed like forever. Even as they celebrated the news, Diep kept moving gently through her daily tasks, continuing to soak the papaya trunks in salt water so they would be ready for tomorrow's sun, while also preparing a warm bath for her daughter. The home felt incredibly cozy, wrapped in their shared laughter and that electric sense of excitement hanging in the air like a promise. Diep wiped a bit of sweat from her forehead after a long day of work, but there was this soft, genuine smile playing on her lips as she thought about her husband finally returning after such a long business trip. The joy was spreading through her like sunlight, breaking through clouds, slowly pushing away all those heavy, accumulated days of missing him and wondering when he would walk through the door again. The evening light softened everything around them, gently wrapping mother and daughter in this beautiful, warm cocoon of hope and tenderness. Inside her heart, Diep could feel it growing lighter with every passing minute. The heavy weight of separation that had been pressing on her chest was finally starting to lift, knowing the reunion she had dreamed about was now so close she could almost touch it. Nee's bright, sparkling eyes perfectly mirrored her mother's quiet happiness, creating such a tender, unforgettable portrait of a family bound tightly by love, even when distance had tried so hard to pull them apart. Now, hundreds of kilometers away, another heart was beating with that same kind of hope and nervous excitement. Let's fade for just a moment and shift scenes to a bustling motorcycle shop where James was quietly making his own preparations to come home. James stood right in the middle of the busy showroom, surrounded by the sounds of engines revving and conversations happening all around him, but his focus was completely locked in. He carefully chose and purchased a sleek black Wave Alpha, listening attentively as the staff explained all its features, the fuel efficiency, durability, and confirming the price at 22 million VND. He handled every bit of the paperwork with calm determination, signing documents while his mind was already traveling down the road toward home. Right after finishing with the bike, he walked over to the book section and began picking out several beautiful children's picture books, specially for Nye. Stories like The Magic Apple Tree, Snow White, The Goose That Lays Golden Eggs, and many more colorful ones about princesses, animals, and adventures. The total came to 165,000 VND, but for James, the real value was priceless. As he paid at the counter, all the noisy sounds of the shop seemed to fade into a gentle background hum. His thoughts had already flown ahead to the moment he would walk through that familiar door. Each book he chose so carefully was like carrying a piece of his love across the long distance, a silent but powerful promise that even while he was away working, he was always thinking of his daughter, imagining her happy face when she flipped through those magical pages. The new motorcycle wasn't just another vehicle sitting in the lot. To James, it symbolized easier and brighter days ahead for the entire family. No more struggling with difficult commutes or worrying about getting Nye to school on time. It would make their daily life smoother, give them more precious moments together, and allow him to be more present as a husband and father. Standing there with the keys in his hand, James felt a powerful surge of paternal pride and warm excitement building up inside his chest. He could already picture Nye's eyes lighting up with wonder when she saw those colorful illustrations, hearing her laughter as she asked him to read every single story. In that moment, the long journey home didn't feel exhausting at all. Instead, it felt like the beautiful beginning of something he had been missing deeply. The bustling energy of the shop slowly gave way to the next chapter of his journey. The music swells gently in the background as we cut quickly to James unloading his shiny new bike with the help of a couple of kind men nearby. You can almost hear the quiet satisfaction and happiness in his voice as he breathes out those heartfelt words that carry all his emotions. Just thinking about meeting Deep makes me so excited. And that excitement is exactly what brings us to the moment everything changes. And that excitement is exactly what brings us to the moment everything changes. After a long journey filled with anticipation, James finally pulls up to the familiar gate, the new black Wave Alpha humming softly beneath him as he turns off the engine. The door opens, and there stands Deep, her eyes widening in complete surprise and overwhelming joy the second she sees him. Time seems to freeze for a heartbeat as the two of them lock eyes across that small distance. "You look so thin," Deep says, her voice cracking with emotion as she rushes forward. James steps closer, a tired but genuine smile breaking across his face, and replies softly, "I lost weight because I was away from you." Those simple words carry months of longing, late nights, and quiet sacrifices. Without another second of hesitation, They pull each other into a tight, heartfelt embrace right there in the doorway. You can feel the depth of everything they've been through melting away in that single hug. The separation, the worry, the empty spaces at night, all dissolving into pure relief and love. Diep's hands gently touch his face, tracing the lines that show how much he missed home, while James holds her like he never wants to let go again. Their words tumble out naturally, mixed with soft laughter and gentle concern. How she had been working so hard, how he had been pushing through every challenge just to come back sooner. In that moment, the reunion atmosphere overflows with raw, beautiful emotion. The long time apart that once felt endless now feels like it was worth every single day because it led them right back here to each other. James then takes Diep's hand and proudly shows her the new motorcycle parked just outside. "We'll have a means of transportation now," he explains warmly. "It'll make taking Nye to school so much easier." Diep's eyes light up with a mix of surprise and gratitude as she runs her hand along the sleek black body, realizing how much thought and love went into this gift. The new bike isn't just metal and wheels. It represents shared future ease, lighter mornings, and more time as a family. They stand there together, talking softly, their voices full of hope and quiet happiness, the kind that only comes after truly missing someone. As the initial rush of reunion settles, they move inside to the cozy kitchen, where the real sweetness of home begins to unfold. Diep, with that caring smile James had missed so much, brings out a jar of gooseberry jam she had made with her own hands. "Try some," she says, offering him a spoon with gentle excitement. James takes a taste, and his face lights up as he praises it sincerely. The perfect balance of sweet and sour, made with love and no shortcuts. They sit close together, sharing the simple moment, laughing about how different it tastes from anything store-bought. Diep watches him eat with soft eyes, full of worry and affection, saying she won't let him go away so long again because seeing him this thin breaks her heart. James reassures her, his hand reaching for hers across the table, telling her how much her cooking and her presence mean to him after all those lonely meals on the road. Their conversation flows naturally, filled with small updates, shared dreams, and quiet promises for the future. In the background, they start preparing to welcome Nye home from school, arranging the new books James brought and planning little surprises that will make their daughter's face light up. The sweet-sour taste of the gooseberry jam seems to perfectly mirror their entire journey, the bittersweet months of separation now turning into renewed sweetness and warmth. In this quiet kitchen, surrounded by the golden afternoon light streaming through the window, love deepens through these simple, everyday sharings. No grand gestures needed, just two people who truly belong together, rebuilding their little world, one gentle conversation at a time. As the sun begins to dip lower, Diep and James stand side by side near the doorway, looking out toward the path where Nye will soon appear. Their shoulders touch lightly, a silent symbol of unity after being apart. The camera slowly pulls back, music fading softly into a warm, hopeful melody, leaving us with this beautiful final image of a family almost complete again. Because at the end, of every long road, every tiring business trip, and every quiet day of waiting. Gia Jean la, noi moi, han trin luon trove. If you've been touched by this story of love, patience, and coming home, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real-life emotional journeys from everyday families. Drop a comment and tell me, when was the last time you felt this kind of reunion joy? We'll see you in the next video. Take care and cherish every moment with the ones you love. After months apart, Deep and her young daughter Nee are quietly counting the days until James returns from his long business trip. In their peaceful rural home, the mother-daughter duo shares tender moments of anticipation as Dieppe prepares traditional papaya dishes and excitedly tells Nee the good news. Meanwhile, James surprises them by purchasing a sleek new Wave Alpha motorcycle and a collection of colorful children's books for Nye. When James finally walks through the door, emotions overflow. Deep notices how thin he has become and rushes into his arms. Their heartfelt reunion is filled with tears, warm embraces, and loving words. James proudly shows off the new motorcycle that will make family life easier, while Deep treats him to her homemade gooseberry jam. In this touching story of love, patience, and coming home, we witness how distance only makes the heart grow fonder, and how simple moments can heal the longest separations.